crazy, huh? Shit getting crazy. Here we go. Lucid dreams, so I can't be out here living stupid. I love hard, so you could say I was shot by Cupid. Say less, but every now and then I drop my 2 cents.
What is up? What is up? What is up, tribe? We are back with another video. Today's video was at the request of a new tribe member. I'm going to go ahead and shout her name out right here. I'm going to jump right into the class, all right? This is biology speaking, okay? Biology, dating. Dating is biology. And there are some rules that nature has already put in place that we think we are too big for these animalistic rules. But we're going to go into the power of voice and how it relates to the feminine arts. So let's get into it, okay? An article published in Psychology Today, I believe it's called The Power of Voice. I'll link it down below in the description, okay? I'm going to go over a few points before we actually go into our class. First point, your voice, it exerts an unconscious influence on how others judge you. Point number one, write that down. Point number two, to the subconscious mind, voice is very important, all right? Number two, write that down. Number three, when a woman is more fertile during her ovulatory cycle, she tends to prefer men with lower voices. Here we go with biology, okay? That means when a woman is ovulating, she's most likely to be attracted to a man with a lower register, a lower voice. And that changes because point number 4 says a woman's voice preference, what she prefers, it changes during the phases of her reproductive cycle. That means whether or not she's ovulating or not. This is primal. This is biology. This is hut wisdom, baby, right? The power of a woman ovulating, her voice, it changes depending upon what part of the cycle, her reproductive cycle, she's in. What part of the moon and or month meaning moon, all right? What part of the moon month is she in? That means you, young ladies, all of you listening women, you are more attractive to the opposite sex during your ovulation periods. Your voice sounds sweeter during your ovulation periods. You're most likely to find a better, more suitable mate during your ovulation period. But some of us, we're just out dating, going around talking and yapping and not knowing, not really understanding the feminine arts. Here's why Hut Wisdom is here. Here's why Elder Eden is teaching us. So let's get into it, okay? I want you to go out when you're ovulating. If you are single and you're looking for a mate and you're looking to get married, go out during your ovulation period. I want you to get a calendar, and I want you to start learning about your body. I want you to start understanding your body, not just from a menstruation point of view, all right? Yes, you need to know when you're going to be menstruating. You need to understand the whole process up until that point, because that is going to determine what kind of pheromones you let off and get off. Yes, we do still have it. I believe it, even though science has debunked a few of those things, all right? As far as the pheromones is concerned, but we do know that smell and scent and those things cannot be disputed. So I want you to get a calendar, and I want you to start learning about your body, because this is the feminine arts I've been trying to teach through my books. I want to teach what nature has given us. Nature has given us a code. We try to rewrite them, unwrite them, but it doesn't change that the facts are what they are. Go out when you're ovulating if you're single. Use the power of your voice for attraction if you're single. Yes, physical attraction matters to men over women in dating, but voice will always seal the deal when a woman is ovulating. We're designed for mating and procreation and co-creation. Yes, we are failing at it tremendously because today we believe our britches are too big for such animalistic ways of thinking. But biology is as it is. So, for all of my women, my maidens in waiting, I want you to go out and I want you to speak. I want you to talk. I want you to greet. I want you to go out while you're ovulating. And when you get out while you're ovulating, you're going to have that new calendar that sits in your bathroom that teaches you when you are most powerful throughout the month. You're going to learn about yourself because this is biology, but biology is hut wisdom. And all of hut wisdom is the feminine arts. True feminine arts. Not that fluffy, lollygaggy stuff that's out there, but the things that is connecting us on a biological level. The one thing that we've always driven home when it comes to hut wisdom was that primal urges matters most, and they must not be ignored. In hut wisdom, we recognize that biology is what keeps us connected to one another and what drives and motivates us to want to create with someone else, because that's the way we were designed. Regardless of what we want or how we want things to be, Mother Nature has its code. Nature has made plans for us so that both men and women could have mutualistic relationships that are more symbiotic so that we can evolve and move our species forward. And I know mutualistic, when we're talking about mutualistic, we can look at how symbiotic those relationships are with both insects and flowers, the bee and the plant. There's something in it for the bee and there's something in it for the plant. This is what nature is trying to teach us. We do need each other regardless of what the blogs and those are saying. We need one another, not just for one another, but so that we can be aligned with nature's code. And nature's code wants to continue the proliferation of the human race. And the only way to do that is to make sure that we are consistently moving our species forward. So let your voice be your guide. Here is the quick lesson. Number 1, sound travels in waves, okay? In waves. And I'm going to do a whole class on that, about how it hits the eardrum, all right? Number 2, your normal speaking voice can travel 60 to 100 feet. Mine is a little bit less than that. It travels at about 30 to 60 feet. That's because I'm causing the listening ears to want to draw near. I'm pulling them inward. This is an old feminine arts teaching from old Hollywood, and you will know it when I mention these names. Michael Jackson, LaToya Jackson, Janet Jackson, Halle Berry, Marilyn Monroe. These people were taught this. It's interesting how you can find a lot of hut wisdom in what and how Hollywood builds their starlets. A lot of what we did as a core people, just as a core people, as culturally, and how the elders taught the women of the village to take care of house. You find that in some of these mysterious schools, these mystery schools. And so now the wisdom of what was once our natural beings is feels like it's so far away from us, and now it's being taught in mystery schools and all of these secret societies, okay? And please don't think that secret societies is just for men. Women have them as well, all right? So I just want you to kind of think of that as that our natural way of being, our natural understanding of the world, especially when it comes to understanding nature and how well we work with nature. We are people of the earth, people of the sun, you understand? And so that stuff is so far removed from us. Now we have to pay thousands of dollars to go to these mystery schools to learn something that was just once a part of our culture. And so I remember saying to you guys about 3 years ago is that I've always wanted to bring us back to some sort of culture, something that's culturally linked, not just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but something that we can look back and say, yeah, this is ours. We own this. We own Hut Wisdom, okay? Now, as far as the voice is concerned, I was doing it for the entire part of this video because if you noticed, one of our tribe members asked a question. You speak about the voice and it coming from certain parts of the body. What do you mean by that? And so I'm going to give you an introduction here. All right, part of it we already went over about the power of the voice and how powerful it is. Hormonally, it changes. And we'll talk about code switching on another level, a little bit different than how we understand code switching to be. But code switching as it relates to femininity, that's a whole different ball game, a whole different realm, okay? We'll talk about that later. But what I want to talk about is what you've been hearing in this video. This whole video, I have been using it to see if you guys could pick up on it. Voice tone, okay? Tonality is extremely important in understanding the power of voice. If you want to be a public speaker, there's certain things that you learn so that you can capture your audience. Your audience. Where am I pulling that energy from? Audience. That's coming from my chest. The deeper and the more connected you want to be to your audience, the deeper you pull your voice. You pull your voice energy. You pull it. And you find that when people are talking from their throat, people who talk from their throat, you really, really cannot get past about a minute and a half before it becomes annoying. Because the eardrum is a very delicate instrument. And so the power of voice is more powerful than you know. Not only can it turn a man on or turn a woman on and excite them sexually, it could actually get them stimulated mentally, but it can also annoy the hell out of them. So when I am speaking of when someone is pulling their voice, I'm talking about where the energy is coming from, and I'm going to give you a test. If you're seated right now, I want you to stay seated. And if you're standing, I want you to sit, and I want you to do this. I want you to say the word ouch. I want you to imagine being hit in the gut and say ouch, or ooh, ow, oh, ooh, ow, oh. Where is that energy coming from? If you place your hand on your belly and you say ooh, ow, oh, you'll notice that that is coming from your belly. Anything that requires you to say words like ooh, ow, oh, anything that has to do with feelings, you'll find out that that is coming from the navel area, from the belly. All right? It comes from there. Words have power. Sound have power. But they also tell a lot of secrets. All right? If you were to yell and scream at your child, imagine being seated and say, don't do that. You're going to find that that comes from the navel area. Most often coming from the navel area. Sit down starts to move up. And you can start to feel that certain words that you say come from certain areas of your body. The vibration of those words changes the frequency. The sound waves, when someone is telling the truth, it feels different to your ear than a lie. When someone is telling the truth, most oftentimes they are not throat speakers. They are not head speakers. But telling the truth comes from deep within, and it comes from the gut of the belly. That energy moves upward and out. Where the energy is being pulled from and travels along the vocal cords, and you hear it in your eardrum, that means the sound was traveling, your words were traveling at the speed of sound, and then it hit the eardrum of someone else and they received what you were saying. They heard you. To hear someone is to receive the sound that they emitted from their body. You're not just hearing things, you are also feeling them. So when I speak about that in my videos, I'm not just paying attention to what it sounds like, I'm also paying attention to where it's coming from. Because there is where the secret lies. Whether or not someone is telling me truth or lies tells me whether or not he's connected to what he's saying. Now you might say, Karima, can someone be connected to their lies? Absolutely. Lies we tell ourselves we're connected to also. But then that comes with training. This is why I tell people, do not be afraid to get a mentor. Someone whose whole life has been nothing but study, and they don't mind taking you in so that they can teach you, so that one day the student will triumph over the teacher. Right? You know the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. The opposite of that is true as well. In any event, I hope you've learned something from this video. I hope you learned that your voice is extremely important, that it matters, that what you say matters, because for every word you utter, for every word you think and you put into form, and it rolls off your tongue and into the ethers, and it hits the eardrum of someone else, what you've just done is shared a little bit of yourself to the other person. That's called communication. Until next time, be empowered, be inspired, and be well, baby. Bye, y'all.